Bzz. Hello everybody, what's going on? Today we're having another deck profile. I haven't done these in a while now, but we have another one from our master builder from Moonpie. Right? He is right here with us, Moonpie. How you
Hey,
doing,
how we
bud?
doing, Ruby?
Oh, we're doing great, man. You ready to show us this deck?
Yes, I am, which is Hunters, aka the Rainbow Digimon deck. All right,
Absolutely.
so we're starting off with the eggs, which at this point, if you've at all played Hunters, you know this is the egg you're rocking with. Fun fact: a lot of people should know this by now, but if not, if you're just getting into Hunters, make sure when you do the on deletion of your hunter abilities and your Monomon, that you always do this first, draw your card, because if you save first, you will not get this ability. So make sure you draw first. So there's a little tip if you didn't know.
And now you know, because that could cost you a game.
100%. All right. And then it's going to get us into the tamers. So first off, we're doing four Uh, Taiki. This is probably the best one because you slide a card underneath, draw a card. Cycling the cards that you don't want underneath to give you the sources to tap to reduce your cost. And it just cycles through your deck, that much faster. Um, then you're playing three of the memory setter. You can't tuck anything under, but he can still tap to reduce. So that's why we're only going three and not four. You see it enough. And it's good. It's definitely a three of that should be played, as well as the next one, which is Uamano. This obviously is errated. Everyone should know this by now. Hopefully, if not, it's not plus 2K. It is gain of memory when you tuck one at the start of your main phase. So that is gain a memory on that. So we play three of those, and then the last three is Watchmaker. Um, I don't think you need four. I started with four, way too much, seen it way too often. It was killing me. I think three is a perfect amount on the Watchmaker 100%. Another card that I did want to say that I was kind of toying around with was the purple Uamano. Because you'll see that we play a lot of purple, and the purple Uamano, you don't get the second effect of it, but all turns, if you tuck a purple Digimon card underneath the purple Uamano, you gain one, draw one. So it's something that I was thinking about messing around with, something that you guys can mess around with and maybe mess with some ratios. I see definitely the benefits of it, but I also could see how it could hurt you because you cannot tap that card to reduce. So you
I
got
would
to be careful.
say I would say another note is it doesn't fully matter to stick to a color because you're not gonna run options in this deck. You just want to go all in on your strategy here, and the tamers are a big key for that. And getting the ratios right is definitely part of it.
100%. And to the rookie lineup. This is a must of four of. This helps you cycle cards underneath your tamers to your hand. Um, so with that being said, just make sure that you always are realizing, like, if you need a card that's maybe in your trash and one of your level fours dies, when you save it, you might want to save something else because then you can, did you cross or just hard drop Psyche and get something back from underneath your tamer to your hand that could help you next turn or that same turn if you keep turn. It's a really good card. Another four of is Gundramon. This one, when you cross or on play, you tuck one underneath the tamer, draw a card, which sometimes comes in handy because sometimes you just get a tamer out and you couldn't put a source under it. Now you can. And another reason why we play all these is because the inheritable is draw a card, which is just insane. To be able to just free draws every time you swing. So there's the purple side of those, and then we play four of these guys. I was back and forth on this. I was trying three, but I didn't seem to see it enough. But at four, this is really sweet because again, when you do the on play of this, you get to, if you have too many tamers in hand because you're already set up, you can tuck up to three tamers underneath your deck to the bottom and then draw that many cards. So if you do one, two, or three, that's how many cards you draw. I think it's super nice to have, especially when you're starting to get into that mid to late game. Super good. And then the plus 2K does come up. The plus 2K for the DP. It's really nice, especially if you end up stacking multiple underneath.
Absolutely.
So
That. That card is very versatile, I would say. It can do many different things, and it can kind of like, so a lot of times I've seen you with a lot of tamers in your hand, and you wish you had other cards. That's when that card comes in handy very well. It gets you kind of back in the game by uh, getting rid of some tamers and letting you draw some new cards off of them.
For sure, for sure. And then these last two cards, I think, are definitely a must. And it's the pencil. We're penciling out here. I know there's some people that say don't use the pencils. I will not mention names, but the pencil is definitely the way to go. It could easily help you, and I'm gonna give some examples. So sometimes Beelzy gets stuck at a level 4. This underneath one of your guys, and you swing with a Shoutmon underneath your level 4. You can give something minus 2k and then pop with the Shoutmon. So this gives you access to popping level 4s against really any deck, because every level 4 in most decks is over 4k. So this gives it into that 4k range, so you can delete with your Shoutmon, and I think it just comes in handy. I don't really like any other options out there besides this. If it had the on deletion save, I would probably even think about playing another one of these, but that's the only downfall to this card. But this card needs to be played, in my opinion. You can at me, but this card will not leave the deck. That card is good.
Exactly. If you want to give your reasons why he shouldn't play that, go ahead and leave something in the comments. But Moonpie will John Wick you with that pencil, is what I'm going to be saying. Okay?
Yeah.
You will not come out of that alive.
All right, let's move on to our level 4s. Which is 3 of these bad boys. So I started off with 4 of these, like I did with Watchmaker. I thought this card was absolutely broken. It is and isn't. And 3 I found is a perfect ratio. A lot of people are going to tell you 2. I think 3 is perfect because I see this at least 1 copy every single game, and it's such a great card. If you don't see it turn 1, it's just a really great card to tuck underneath a Taiki or a Uemano at the start of your upkeep. So when you go into your next Digi-Evolution, you get to tuck this, and now you have jamming. And if you have that with the superior mode, with extra security checks and everything, like, this card just goes dumb. I think 3 is a great number. I could definitely see the 2, definitely never less than 2, never more than 3. So it better be 2 or 3. I'm feeling comfortable with the 3, so that's what I'm going with, is the 3 clock points. Going into the absolute 4 of, this plays you free tamers. This is a level 4. And another side note to note for everyone is that your level 4s, make sure you know this, it deletes, saves itself, and then you get 1 card with save from your trash to under. It doesn't have to be the guy that's under it. It can be anything with the word save and its text, and tuck it underneath one of your tamers. I will tell you, I recommend, if you have like level 3s, level 4s, and level 5s in your trash, you always go for your 4s and 5s underneath your tamers over your level 3s. Because your level 3s is, if you end up having those are what's going to yank your tamers, cards from under your tamers into your hand, or if you play cards like Astamon, which you might see in the future, and you'll see what I'm talking about when it all goes into why I'm telling you to make sure you should grab your 4s and 5s over your level 3s. This card is also a 4 of. This card can easily just win you a game because it can go and give you rush. A really cool play is if you have any type of card in your hand, you can cross into, you can digicross any of your other ones besides the pencil. You can cross for 2. If you have a tamer up, you can go into this for free or maybe 1 cost, and then this has rush because it has 2 or more sources and swing for game. So this is just a really good game ender for 2 memory.
Well, if you have 2 tamers that reduce cost, then you could play
Right.
your rookie for 2, and then Digivolve for
And then
free,
free.
and then rush
That's
for
what I'm saying.
game.
So
Yeah,
realistically, for 2 memory, you could have just like a rush for game.
yeah.
Out of nowhere. So that card is just a must have at 4. This is where I probably differentiate from a lot of lists. I play 3 Daimemons. I like it, but I feel like I miss a lot on this card, and take key pieces to the bottom. I think it needs played for sure, but I'm just not a huge fan. I love the blocker aspect. I love that it tries to do, but it seems just like you miss a lot. But I still think 3 is a great number because I also play the one of the Tuarmon, which has came up multiple times. I want to play more than one, but it obviously only digivolves for 1 on top of a Dame, or it's 3 otherwise. Um, if you decide that you do like Digimon and you play 4 of these, I could definitely see you playing 2 copies of the Tuarmon. This card's really good to de-digivolve. It can definitely save you games, the de-digivolve. So that is the level 4 lineup there. And then your most broken card, if you're not playing 4, don't play the deck. Yes, just an opinion, but this is definitely a 4 of. The card's nasty. For every other tamer, it increases its level by 1 to tuck something under another Digimon or tamer. If you have 4 sources, you get to attack at the end turn. Even if you pass turn and this is standing, straight up, it does when you swing, it doesn't tap. It just swings just from an effect, so it stays whatever position that you have the card in at the end of your turn. Whether you decide to attack, end turn, and attack again, or if you decided you go into this pass turn and then end of turn you get to swing, it just stays how it is when it's the end of your turn. So cards busted.
Card's really wild because it just gets rid of a threat potentially, and it's can attack without suspending, which is insanity.
Yeah, and then on top of that, this gets around like a lot of protection stuff that decks have, like decks that say can't be bounced, this or that. Like you're not bouncing, you're tucking. Right. So this gets around a lot of those abilities.
It's a brand new interaction that nothing else has protection for, really.
So super good card. Just be careful because your level 5s don't have any type of save mechanic. So if this dies, that whole stack is gone. So just be very mindful of that. This is the only controversy thing that I play. I play 1 of each. I think I want to go 2 Astamon, but I'm having a hard time. This card's really nice because you can pop multiple things, as many Digimon that total up to the DP starting at 4K. It goes up 3K for every 2 sources. Typically, you're deleting up to 10K, so you can delete multiple rookies or like maybe level 4 and a level 3. Maybe you get lucky and get like a level 5 and a level 3. But to be honest, I'm thinking I like the Asta better. Because the reason why the Astamon I think is super great is if you're not seeing your superior mode or not wanting to go into this, going into the Astamon, you get to pull a level 4 or lower Digimon from underneath the tamer and play it out. Or you get to go into Quartzmon. So if you decide that you want to tuck your Quartzmon under tamer, now you have a way to get it instead of having it in your hand. Another thing is like, let's just say you want to get a level 4 out. You can play Damimon out from underneath. He gets his on plays. Top 3 to see if you get a tamer. If you want to play out Shoutmon, if you have a tamer in your hand, you play this from underneath out. You get to play a tamer. Clockmon, he comes out. He's a blocker. You search 3. You're typically adding 2 cards with this. If you want to go into like this because you have too many tamers in your hand, you can go do that and bottom deck tamers. Same thing with this. I just think it's a very versatile card in early game. This could be super like useful and helpful to kind of flood the board a little bit. Or again, if you need to go into Quartzmon, which I'll just show you now, we play 2 of. And if you decide that you want to tuck a Quartzmon underneath a Taiki or a Uemon or something at the start of your turn because it's a dead card in hand and you have this, then you already know that when you Digivolve, you can go right into the Astamon, into the Quartzmon, which is super busted. Because the other thing that you can do if you know you have this in hand, and let's just say this was in security, obviously you wouldn't know, and you have one trashed, but you don't have one in hand. And you're going into, you have a level 4, you swing and your level 4 dies. This is where you can take that opportunity of tucking this underneath, and then you can go get any save from your trash, so then you can tuck this underneath the tamer and have Quartz ready. Because then that very next turn, or even possibly that same turn, you can go into the Asta which then will allow you, if you wanted to go right back into a quartz from underneath. So I think there's just a lot of versatile plays with the Astamon over the Omni Shout. I'm testing one of each right now, but I'm definitely on the fence of this card, and I'm thinking I'm going to go to two of these. I just think it's really, really, really good. But what is your opinions on that card, Ramby, before we close this out?
Well, Astamon, of course, like you said, is very versatile, and bringing out Quartzmon, which essentially can end the game like one turn later, is pretty busted. Um, and of course, you got to know what you're doing, and obviously, you know what you're doing. You know that putting the Quartzmon under to set up your Astamon is a pretty good play. But I will say that Omni Shout has also come in handy, and it does have its own uh, versatility as far as like destroying your opponent's stuff. Like you can kill multiple small Digimon, or if it has the stack, it can kill one big Digimon, or two mid-level Digimon. It's very versatile and it can
I
turn the odds in your
know.
favor. I do like that about that card too. And there's been situations where you kind of wish you had that, especially with the decks that play bigger boards, like Bloom Lords, and like if a Bilzimon gets a lot of Impmons out or stuff like that. I think that card can be pretty useful because you don't have a lot of you as you saw that was the whole deck. There's no options, right?
There's
Um,
not.
yeah, that deletion could be key, but we'll test it out, right?
Yeah, I mean that's what it comes down to, testing. That's why I'm doing the 1-in-1. But we'll see how it ends up working at the
Yeah,
final product. But this is my first build. It seems to be working really well. I've beat Beelzy plenty of times and the mirror match plenty of times, and honestly, any deck that I've played against, I mean, I've done really, really well with this deck, and it's been working really, really well. And it really came down to that superior mode, really, to be honest. So
yeah.
that
So
is the deck.
that is the deck. All right. Thank you guys so much. If you have any comments, let us know. If you have any questions in the future about one of my maybe some changes, maybe Moon decided to go with two Astamons, just let us know, and we'll respond right at some point, maybe. All right. Thank you very much, and we'll see you in the next video. Peace.
Peace.